Hey everybody, welcome to Raw Online Report. Today's guest was a six-time champion in the Classic Physique division, placed top 3 at the Arnold Classic 2 years in a row as a Classic Physique competitor. Last weekend, he made his debut at the Toronto Pro as a 212 bodybuilder and smashed it. Please welcome all the way from Texas, Courage Opara. What's up, Courage? Congratulations.
Oh, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'd say I was surprised, but no. I remember
that was a great intro. I was like 6 Pro. I'm like, holy crap! I do have that much.
Yeah, well, it's on your Instagram.
That was good.
Like I said, top 3 at the Arnold 3 times. Olympia, you were top 10 twice in a row, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So before we get to the current stuff, I want to get people up to speed on your background a little bit because I remember a little bit of it, but not too much. You did have a unique childhood. You didn't have the typical childhood. Tell me a little bit about that.
So basically in Africa, like I was born in Nigeria. Going to a military school over there, it's considered like you basically a higher up education, like the best kind you can get has to do with the military. Yeah. So my parents are not military individuals, but they were well-to-do, so they were able to pay for me to go to a military school. So I basically went to a military boarding school from age 7 to like 13. So my formative years were with structure, a lot of what I would call abuse now.
Oh, geez. I mean, I don't want to pry, but was it physical?
Oh, yeah, that's part of it. But it was normal back then. Now it would be frowned upon. Well, it was frowned upon. I think there were news that came out a few years ago with the invention of everyone having cameras now, of people taking videos of said things, and it blew up online. Someone passed away, and there was a whole investigation into the school. It was a weird thing, but that was normal back then. And so me being a kid, that's what I knew. And then honestly, it's not all bad. Obviously, there's the negative part of it, but it formed my personality and then how I think about things and my nature of how I am as a person. But that's basically how I grew up. It was.
I mean, you learn discipline and structure at a young age, and I don't want to shit on the youth of America, but they don't have a lot of those two things, structure and discipline.
Yeah, that's normal. It's like high excellence and extreme discipline to the point where it can not be good, but it was normal back then. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, the last time we spoke, I think we were just sort of becoming aware of, or they were just starting to be more Nigerian people of Nigerian heritage, even though they weren't necessarily like Quint Beastwood, Samson Dowda, Andrew Jack. Who am I missing? Did I say Blessing Odibu?
Yeah.
And it's add you to the list now, guys. If you want to know, it's a great country to be from if you want to be jacked.
Just that West African part, like Ghanaians as well. So we're talking about Bonak.
Yeah.
Like that West African side. It's
Ghana.
because
East Africa is Ethiopia, Somalia, very undernourished, skinny people. Don't want to be from there. So
more of a marathon style genes they have, I guess.
Yeah. So every superhero has an origin story. Tell me, how did you become a bodybuilder?
So I actually started training late freshman year of college.
Oh wow!
And it was just I had a late. It's not like I'm tall now, but I had a late growth spurt. I was like 5'3", 120 in college at that point.
Wow!
And I just started working out, and 6 months later, a couple buddies were like, "Oh, you look awesome!" I'm like, "What are you taking?" I'm like, "What is that?" I don't know what that meant. So a few years later, they all wanted to do a show. I think they were 10 weeks out of the show, and a couple buddies of mine were also competing as well. And they were like, "Hey, you should jump in the show. You already look like you should get on stage." I'm like, they convinced me to do it, and I'm like, all right, I'll see how it goes. I was just going to hang out with my buddies and like just be with them. So I went. It was a Phil Heat in 2015, and then I won the overall. And they were like, "You're really good at this." I was like, "All right." I wasn't dieting for the show. I just showed up, and that's how it started.
Yeah. So you started off as a bodybuilder, and then Classic.
Oh no! I actually started as men's physique. It was a thing back then because they were all doing men's physique, and that's what I got introduced to. Oh. So I didn't know anything about bodybuilding at that point. My friends are doing it.
Yeah.
This is what I just copied what they were posing and what they were doing, and I just jumped on stage with them. I remember this is Texas Women's University's gym, and that's where we spent majority of our time there.
Yeah.
And then I learned how to pose and from them, and then I did my own prep, which I think looking back now, it's not really it wasn't. And then I just did the show, and that's how I started.
So did you start competing in 2016?
2015, the fall of 2015.
Yeah, so that was right before Classic was announced.
Yep, that qualified me for nationals, and then the nationals they were like Classic, the first Classic that in Chicago, and I did that, and that's why I got the pro card.
Yeah, you were one of the first people to turn pro as a Classic Physique. It was
I was like 21. I was early.
So let's look at some of the career highlights that I was able to find footage of. This was the very first Arnold Classic that featured Classic Physique 2018, I believe. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, Arnold is an invitation only, and they usually cap it out at 15 per division. But that year, I think because it was a brand new thing, it was like 30 guys there.
Yeah, it was just apply and get in at that point.
Yeah. And you took second behind some guy named Breon Ansley.
Oh, no, I took third.
You took third. I'm sorry. Third behind Breon and Arash Rabar.
Yes.
It was very, very good.
The OGs.
Yeah. And here we're looking at that. So I'm just curious, what were you at the weight cap back then for Classic? Because I know the weight cap was increased a couple times.
I can say from the very first time I started in Classic, I've always had problems making weight. So even from the nationals, I had a huge problem making weight, and this as well, I had a problem making weight. Well, I made the weight, but I just struggled to make the weight.
So you must have been pretty pleased every time because it's been increased twice, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think originally I was supposed to like 185, and then it got up to like 188, and 192. So yeah.
So that let you that kept you in. Like there's like a speculation that they increased it the last time to keep Breon from jumping to 212. But
that makes sense.
I seriously doubt they're going to do that for one guy. But
that doesn't. Yeah, I guess not.
So and just to let people know, the next year you came back and got third again behind the late George Peterson III, the Bull, and Steve Laureus.
Yes.
So another smashing Arnold Classic performance because. The Arnold is tough. It's not as tough typically as Olympia, but it's not that much easier. Trust me.
Yeah, it seems tougher now.
Yeah,
it's a lot worse now.
Well, they're paying better now. Thank goodness.
Yeah, the freaks of natures around the world popping up.
Well, you're one of them. So here we go. This is 2022, the Texas Pro, another one of your 6 pro wins. At this point, you look like you're definitely a little larger than that 2018 footage.
Yeah, I started figuring it out, and I was getting older. Like gym maturity. Like I said, I started training later, so just time in the gym. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So I mean, just curious, when you started training, were you already sort of lean and sort of athletic looking, or not?
Yeah, I played soccer all 4 years of high school and college as well, so I was just lean and small. I was like 120, I believe, and that sophomore year, I blew up to like 5'8".
Oh wow!
And then that's when my weight started going up. I think I was 180 at that point. I thought I was the biggest thing since sliced bread. Just like, I thought I was huge back there at 180.
Well, I mean, you went from your height went from 5'3" to 5'8" after high school. Wow!
After high school, yeah, I had a late jump. I was really tiny.
Were you like not eating enough before? I don't know what was going on.
Maybe I played a lot of soccer. Maybe that was it. Because I played any chance I could get until my knees gave out.
Yeah. And this footage here, I wish it was better. Unfortunately, I've not. Have you seen any like really good 4K footage anywhere?
Nah.
Dang it. Because this is not. I know this isn't really doing you justice. This footage here. This was.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of footage of that, but I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
I looked better in my cameras.
That's what I'm saying. Weird. I don't want to disparage their stream, but this is. Let's put it this way. I wish Gilco Productions did the stream for every show.
Yeah, it makes everyone look like superheroes in his stuff.
So I'll go to, at least you have one really good shot on your Instagram. Here it is. Yeah, I wish there were more of these. I want to see more pictures of that.
Bodybuilders Without Borders.
I mean, that's where you can really see the increase. You're fuller, you're rounder, denser. So the last time you competed in Classic was 2023.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what was your weight then?
I made weight at 196. I was on stage at about 197, 198.
Yeah. And what are we looking at here? What'd you weigh for this show?
I made weight at 210. I believe I stepped on the stage about 213.
Nice. Okay.
Because
So
we had 2 days. So I made weight on a Friday, but the show was on a Sunday. So I guess that's where the extra pound came from.
All right. So then you posted this and said, two people, your wife and some other guy that was a pretty good Classic guy, but now the 212 Olympia champ, Keone, they were the ones who convinced you. So tell me about this come to Jesus moment where you visions.
Like I said, since I started competing in Classic, even from the amateur days, well, the one amateur show I had, I've always had a problem making weight. And then Keone and I are buddies. We met first through social media. I think it was like 2017, and then we competed against each other at 2019 Arnold.
Yeah.
And then I believe I was third. He was fourth, and then we just started talking. And then over time, when he moved, he started pushing me to move. But I was winning shows, and I liked the Classic. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of. I was never a big fan of like just being big. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be that big. I like Classic. Plus, I was also doing well, and there was no incentive for me to move. And I can't see myself looking like that. But as the years kept going, I kept getting bigger and having a hard time making weight. He basically just was being blunt. And the way he talks, he's matter of fact when he's being serious. So he was being blunt, and my wife was right there co-signing the whole time. Just she's been trying, but she sees like whenever I get to like 2 weeks out of a show, it's no longer it's no longer the like, hey, I like the way I'm looking. I'm gonna coast or clean up for the show. It becomes the stress of like, I need to make this weight, and then I'm just like getting on the scale 8 times a day, and the panic and all that setting in. Even though I always make the weight, but just the stress leading into making the weight, she wasn't a big fan of. So,
I mean, I'm guessing you probably knew that wasn't your best look because you.
Oh yeah.
You were dieting. Were you dieting away like pure muscle mass at the very end?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'll be ready to go in about 2. Well, ready to go in about 2 weeks out of so, and it's like, oh, you have 10 more pounds to pull, and we're just gonna dehydrate the crap out of you the day before the show. And then I never bounced back until 3 days after the show was done. And I'm like, oh, yeah. This is like the roundness comes back. This is like I just look like a kid.
Yeah, everybody thinks like a few sweet potatoes and
oh no,
is going to fill them back out again, but it takes a while.
It takes a long while. Yeah,
it was a long time ago. So it had to be. So in that respect, I can understand it was an easy decision because your body really didn't want to get down to that weight. It was a very, very unnaturally low weight for you. But at the same time, was it a struggle because Classic Physique? I hate to say it, but it's sort of more prestigious now than 212. It's got more popularity, more fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it has, but I know I've also noticed that like forcing myself to make weight kills what gift I have to compete against those higher guys at the higher level. Like I do well at the local show, like I said local, like at the qualifying shows for the Olympia, and then I get to the Olympia and I'm like, I know that's not me how I look 2 weeks out, and then it's like I have to shrink myself to make weight, and then that really gets exposed when you're standing next to a Tarrant or a Bruff or Urs or those guys, and they look like really good. You have to burn off muscle basically just to make the weight. But at that point, I was fighting it so hard to make the switch.
What we're looking at here is about 2.5 years old, I believe. Because it says 125 weeks in my amazing skills.
I believe that's probably the 2023 Arnold.
Okay. So
getting ready for that.
So I never saw this. I never saw you look this round and full as a classic physique
Oh
competitor.
yeah, no, I was way above the weight,
Yeah.
way above the weight at that point.
So how hard was it to make 212 this time? Was it not difficult at all?
It wasn't, I guess, from my experience of making classic. I think I was ready to go at about 216, so I just had to just shrink down a little bit. But compared to where I was coming from, that was like easy money. Like I did not stress at all. I was just ready to go.
Yeah, the prep. You've got a great coach, Andrew Vu. He's one of the unsung heroes in the sport because he does not seek the limelight. He doesn't do a lot
Nope.
of interviews.
Nope.
I mean, if you bring up his name, a lot of people are like, huh, who's that? But anyone in the know knows he's been a top coach for a long
Oh
time.
yeah, he has, I believe, Ivy, Natalia Coelho,
Yeah.
Jessica Padilla, like a lot of top level people. He just doesn't talk about it. He just keeps to himself.
He keeps the client. He lets the client have the spotlight, which is kind of the way it should be. But who am I to tell?
Barely posts. It's perfect.
But I'm curious how the prep was different. Was because he's prepped you several times before as a classic guy. Was there less cardio, higher carbs in general? What were the biggest differences?
It was exact. I think first of all, after I pulled out from the 2024 Arnold, I just told him, even when in the process of making weight, getting ready for that show, he was like, "Dude, it's gonna be hard to make the weight. Like, it's not. We're just gonna have to like starve you off." So eventually, when I pulled out of the show, we kind of had a conversation. That's when Keone, my wife, everyone, we like just talked about it, and I kind of, this is dumb. I should switch. So we had a decision to switch, and we had an 18-month off season. I think that's what made the biggest change because I ate so much food. I've never eaten that much food in my life. It was not fun. It's like I'm not someone that eats. Now, give me cookies, that's different. But like, I ate so much, like just bodybuilding meals all day, every day for months. Like I'll complain and he's like, just stay up and eat, you'll be fine. Like he's a matter of fact, and from my upbringing, I like people that are like just straight to the point, just be blunt. It's better that way, for anyways. So he doesn't. Oh, cool. You having problems? Suck it up. That's really how he is. So when I was complaining about the food, he was just stay up, eat. I'll be going to bed at 1, just trying to get the last meal in, watching TV and just forcing it, taking a 40-minute meal all the time. So that jumped my weight. Typically, my off season about 220. That jumped my weight to like 248. I think I could do.
Wow.
So when we started prep for Toronto, I was 245.
Gee.
So it was still the same process. So I still did as much cardio as normal I normally did, and so it was my actual weight. I didn't have a big drop once prep started. It was just a typical slow drop until I got to 220, and that's when things changed.
So it sounds like you might be one of those guys who prep is actually easier than off season. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, that was my first off season ever. I've never had an off season.
Really?
Nope, never do. Once the show is done, I'm like, all right, back to 2 meals a day. Just like and also I was already struggling making weight, so it doesn't make sense to have an off season per se. So I just trained and ate my normal. I don't eat much anyway, so I just my normal meals, and I just go about my day. It was never like take my meals with me everywhere, which I had to do the last 2 years, and like be on the clock with it. It was fun because I liked the structure. It was just getting the food down. I could see, because in the past I was watching podcasts or listening to interviews of other people. They always talk about the food part, and I'm always like, oh, I never had that problem. But that's because I thought I was eating, but no, apparently I wasn't.
Yeah. Well, did you say that you would eat like 2 meals a day normally?
Like 2-3 meals. It was just like I wake up in the morning. I don't like do it during prep. It's different. I'm talking about like an off season.
Right.
Yeah, I just eat like maybe breakfast, pre-workout meal, a post-workout meal, a shake in between there somewhere, and then just call it a day.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it worked for you though. Clearly, I mean, like I said, I'm guessing you couldn't really gain muscle because you're already having a hard time.
Yeah,
you're having a hard time making weight, so it must have been frustrating all that time training so hard and knowing you
I
can't
enjoy
be
the
muscle or
training.
else.
Yeah, I enjoy. I think I enjoy being in the gym more than any other aspect when it comes to competitive bodybuilding. So as long as I can be in the gym, I don't doesn't matter to me. I could be starving or forcing food. I just enjoy being in the gym. So that part did not really stress me out per se that I wasn't pushing to make any progress. It's just as long as I was progressing in the gym, I could care what was going on.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, you mentioned the 23 Arnold Classic, which I think was that the one Ramon won, Ramon Dino? I can't
I can't. No, I think it's the one Wesley
remember.
won.
Wesley, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you're right.
2024.
That's right.
2024. 2023 I did. 2024 I had to pull out of.
Yeah, so tell me about that. You told me before we started recording you had pneumonia and didn't know it?
Yeah, I didn't know it. So Andrew is like he's a stickler for blood work every 4 weeks. Like he pushes for that.
Yeah.
So at about the 8 week mark point, I got blood work done, and then my liver enzymes were through the roof. And he was like, "You okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, I feel run down and all the things." He was like, "Did you go to the hospital?" I'm like, "Oh, it's prep. It's supposed to be." Like, he's like, "No, it's not. You have time." Because I was complaining about, cardio is getting hard, but I was thinking, oh, it's because he raised the intensity of cardio, or I'm doing longer cardio sessions. But I just, you know how prep is. I just shut my brain off and just do what I'm told, and kind of it's the work that has to go into it. And I was also stressed about the weight. I wasn't paying attention to anything. I feel bad. I'll be fine. I get some carbs in me. I'll be fine. And he was like, all right, just take a day off and have some food and see what happens. And nothing changed. I was like, yeah, you probably should go to a hospital. So I did. And like after a couple of tests and stuff, it was like, oh yeah, you have pneumonia and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just get this over with. We got 2 more weeks, and I'll go jump back on it. And at that point, it was 5 weeks out, and it was like, yeah, just stop. But you know how it is. Like at that point, I prepped for about 10 weeks or so. I was like, I gotta finish this, but you have to be yelled at by my wife. I had to like, all right, stop it.
So would that have been your last classic show if you had done
Yeah,
that? It would
yeah,
have been.
that would have been my last one. At that point, I didn't think it was gonna be my last one, but during that prep, there was a situation where my weight was just not moving, but I was getting better at a higher body weight. And he kept, well, the signs are there, like, you should probably think about moving because you're stunting yourself, which is just what turned out to be true.
So the 212 division, I was always a huge fan. I mean, I'm wearing a Jose shirt, the Boston Mass. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
great. So that was probably what people look at so far as the best era of 212 was when it
Yep.
was Kevin English,
Jose,
Dave Henry, Jose, Eduardo Correa,
Flex.
Flex Lewis, a couple other guys I'm probably forgetting. Charles Dixon was really good. But most of those guys are gone now. They've retired or whatever. And we do have of course, we still have a good group. We have Keone, we have Sean Clarita battling it out every year. Angel Calderon Frias, Kareth Bajo. I think he's moving open, so I don't know if we're going to see him anymore as a
Oh,
teacher.
no, we will. He's just doing open for Texas, I
Oh,
believe.
just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
You should do that.
I'm not there yet.
But so what do you think? What can be done or should be done to bring that division up a notch? In everybody's eyes, get the prize money up, the exposure up, because it's legitimate. It's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I want to see it back where it was on top of the heap again.
I believe there are a lot of guys like myself with that shape there in Classic that have a hard time making weight, but are stuck. I'm just going to speak for myself. They are stuck on that look, as in I feel better here, and will force themselves to be there. I I don't want to. I guess I look at things as correlation versus causation in a sense that there the look that is classic that's getting rewarded at the top of the top. I feel like a certain height is more under 5'8", you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just think that's kind of those guys that are under 5'8", if they can push the size a little bit while keeping that shape and moving up to classic and basically changing the look, I would say.
Yeah.
Having that classic look with just bigger muscle on 212 stage would probably make it a lot more exciting in that sense.
I mean, you'd be right there with Keone, because Keone has some of the. I think he's got the best shape in the sport
He
right
does
now out of
by
everybody,
far.
any
By far.
division, bar
Oh yeah.
none. And he's 212. You know,
Oh yeah.
he wouldn't. He probably could have stayed classic.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be as big, but you know, just curious because he's a friend of yours. I just want your take. Do you feel he should go open?
Oh
How
yeah.
long do you think it's going to take?
Absolutely. He's one of those rare people that you just look at it, you're like, you don't need to do anything else. You were born for this.
Mhm.
So like I feel like he's one of those people that looks at a weight and just grows. Like it doesn't he needs to do I again, I might be biased. I am biased. I feel like if he did do an open, if he was placed in that lineup at the Olympia, I think he's top five. That's just me.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
At this point right now, I think he's top five easily.
I mean, he would have won the Toronto Pro just now. No offense to Sasan, he would have beat Sasan.
Yeah, Keon's a different level, and he just keeps improving year after year. As soon as he met his wife to be, it just changed everything for him, and he's becoming. To me, I think he's going to be that guy. He just honestly, I feel like it should just. Then again, maybe I am also hoping it should just be his last year and just move on.
I mean, because like I said, you guys have a really good community there. You're in the Dallas area, I assume.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me because years ago the only people in Dallas were Branch and Ronnie.
Oh yeah, that's different
And
now.
Johnny Jackson. But now, I think Gasp moving their headquarters there and building that destination Dallas had a lot to do with it because you had guys moving like Martin, the whole bunch of Keone. There's a bunch of guys who sort of moved there. That I think Gasp was a big part of why you guys went there.
Oh yeah, I'm sponsored by Gas. There are a lot of top guys that are all here that are sponsored by Gas as well. So being closer to the headquarters,
Yeah,
there are a lot. Every time you go to that gym, there's someone there that's like, you don't belong in any other gym. If that makes sense.
Yeah. What state did you live in before Texas?
Oh, I've always lived in Texas.
Oh, you're a native. Okay.
Yeah, I always lived in Texas.
All right. So these people are all late to the game. You've been there for a while.
Yeah, I can't live anywhere else. I'm used to this.
Fair
Every
enough.
time
Yeah, I actually looked up because I wanted to see. I asked Siri, is Opara a Nigerian name? And your name means firstborn son.
Yes.
Well, that's the last name.
Siri's good.
Yeah, Siri's good. Courage means courage. Do you have any brothers or sisters with cool names too?
Yeah, my sister's Precious. My brother is Cosmos.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, my parents are not boring, which is funny because they are the most quiet people you ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
But they gave their kids just crazy names.
Yeah. Tell me, do your parents really get the bodybuilding thing? Do they understand it?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Most parents don't.
Yeah, and plus my parents are Africans. We're generations of like education is one. Yeah. My sister is a nurse. My brother is he works for IBM. He's a computer engineer. Yeah. I have a degree in physical therapy, so it's like they lean more that direction. But bodybuilding is like, okay, what is this? You're doing what? You're wearing underwear on stage?
Physical therapy, I do know because I've known people. I know a couple PTs, and it's a very difficult program. I think it has like a 70% washout. Only 30% or something of people that start the degree program end up earning the degree.
Oh no, I didn't even finish. I didn't go through. I'm a tech, so it's a little different. Okay. I can bridge whenever I'm done competing, but that's a whole process in itself.
Well, I mean, you're a professional athlete now. Whether
at some point I'm going back.
I mean, you're. I didn't ask how old you were now.
I'm 31 now.
Oh boy, you're a baby.
I turned 31 a month ago or 2 months. Yeah, okay. That's crazy.
April?
May.
Okay, my daughter turned 31 April 7th. So yeah, you guys are about the same age.
May 6th.
Just a youngin. I mean, when I was starting out following bodybuilding, 31 was, oh boy, that's an old man.
Yeah, I know.
I remember Lee Haney when he was 31 when I met him in 1991. He was 31 years old, and to me, I was 21. To me, he was like not an old man, but this wise older guy. And now I'm thinking 31. Geez, my kid's 31. So, man, you got a very, very bright future. So Andrew handles that. Does anyone handle your training, or do you do all that on your own?
Oh, that's myself. Just trying to error, and also having an exercise science background, I guess.
Right
Just
on.
doing that myself.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job. So, what is next for you? What are you done for the year, or do we have something to look forward to soon?
Oh, just the Olympia. I'm not
Olympia.
done for the year. Just yeah, just focusing on. Again, I wasn't expecting to win the show. I didn't have any expectation whatsoever. I did go. I'm going to see how I look. See, because I didn't think I was big enough to stand next to the 212 guys, especially with some of the guys that were top six at the Olympia. So I'm like, okay, these are the guys to stand next to.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see how I compared it, and based on how that went, I would have made it the next call. So this went well. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to focus on the Olympia after hearing what Tyler told me to work on. So.
I figured, does Dubai have a 212?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Next week, I believe. Yeah.
Did you think about that one for a minute?
Oh no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not. It's a bit far.
Yeah, I agree. That's quite a haul to get over there. But
Yeah, it's coming out of my pocket. Like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
okay, well, in that case, yeah, I didn't know if you had somebody spring. So between now and the Olympia, is there any aspect of your physique that I know you don't have much time for an off season, but you got a little bit of time. Is there anything that you want to improve on before you get to that Olympia stage and stand next to Keone and Sean and Angel and those guys?
Oh yeah, I just obviously I think after talking to Tyler, he gave me a few pointers, fix a few things with the posing that can help actually improve some of the things I thought were lacking in muscle.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can put any significant amount of muscle in that time.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll see, but also improve my back and conditioning. Those are the two things.
Yeah. I mean, because what'd you say you weighed in at like 212, right? You said
No, 210, 210.
210. So I mean, you don't have a lot of room to add muscle anyway without growing.
I could be more conditioned. I'll put it that way. I don't
Mhm.
think I was as conditioned as I should be.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have that conversation I've had it with many people, but they were always saying I could be. I remember like George Peterson would say, "Well, I can always be more conditioned." Like, dude, you couldn't be much more ripped than you were. Trust me. I'm not trying to break your theory here, but dude, you're shredded. There's no fat left on you.
It's the athlete. It's the athlete mindset. Like, oh, look at me better. It doesn't matter. You can
Yeah.
always be better.
So you found a great new home in 212. You know, you're going to be missed in Classic. You were one of the guys. Like I remember seeing you for the first time. I think it was the 2018. Yeah, me and Giles were covering it, and we're like, "Wow, who's this guy?" You know, we'd never heard of you before, and we were very, very impressed. So, you know, you were one of the better guys in there. You didn't compete as much as maybe I would hope you would have as a Classic guy. I wanted to see you in every Olympia and every Arnold, of course, because I'm a fan and I'm greedy like that. I want to see all the best guys in every single show. It's not realistic. But Olympia coming up in October, you have plenty of time. And yeah, it was a stunning, stunning debut. A lot of people switch divisions and it doesn't go as well as they had planned. Yours went better than planned. And yeah, you did not look like you were lacking for size at all. You were right there with everybody.
Well, that's good.
So great job. Congratulations.
Thank you,
And
sir.
that's it. I want everyone to follow you. Courage Opara on Instagram. Get this guy up there. You got to have at least 100,000 followers by the time you get to the
I'll take it. I need to up my content game. I'm lacking in that department.
Start a YouTube channel too while you're at it.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
I bought a camera, so I'm ready to go.
I'd watch it. Get some nerd to do all your editing, unless you can do it. I say because I'm too lazy to learn how to edit. Yeah. So congratulations on that, and can't wait to see how you stand next to Olympia. You're going to fit right in, but it's going to be. I just want to see that 212 division grow and become better and better and better, and more big names, more big personalities. That's what it really needs. Like
I don't want to be the one like a lot of the Classic guys are friends, so we do talk. I don't want to break anyone's knees for them, but I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I have a huge feeling that's gonna a lot of the guys that are big names or smaller, they're seeing the changes happening, they're gonna make that call as well. That I did.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the interview. Appreciate it very much. And
Yes,
that's
sir.
it. Guys, thanks for watching Raw Online Report with this man, former Classic Physique champion, now 212 champion, Courage Opara. We'll see you next time.